All right, guys, so today we're going to mix things up with everything we've done so far. So we're going to mix up our polynomial rules, so just be ready to work out exactly what I have out here on the page here. I want you to try each one of these first, so every time we move around, try the problems first before you actually see me working them out. I swear you'll get much better at it the more you practice. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the first one. Go ahead and try it first. Make sure you pay attention exactly what is written. And remember your polynomial rules. So pause the video, try it, and come back when you're done. All right, so the first part of this is, according to my order of operations, I have to take care of this first. And I could do it strictly using the power rule, or I can write it out twice. I'm choosing to write it out twice to take care of the exponent and then write the rest of the problem. Now, go ahead and multiply. We have 3 times 3, which is 9. And a to the first and a to the first, remember this is the product rule. So we need to add our exponents, so we have a squared. And I have plus 2a squared. Now, in order to go ahead and add numbers, or add terms, they must have the same variable and the same exponent. In this case, that is true. So when that happens, we go ahead and we add the coefficients and keep the variable part the same. So 9 plus 2 is 11, and we keep the a squared as it is. So this is a mixture of your product rule as well as the rules of addition of polynomials. All right, so we're going to be mixing things up a little bit, so just make sure you pay attention to what's going on, and you'll be totally okay. Try them first before I work them out, and here they are. Okay, so we have 2 different problems here. Make sure you're paying attention to what is written, and go ahead and try them. And come back when you are done. I'm going to work them both out at the same time. All right, I'm going to be a little bit on the lazy side. There's no addition and subtraction in this problem, so this is strictly first the power rule. All right, which I'm going to go ahead and do directly, and then after that we need to do the product rule. Okay, so we got both those rules going on. No addition and subtraction here. So the power rule means I need to go ahead and multiply all my exponents. So I have 6 squared. So 6 to the 1 times 2. A to the 1 times 2, or a squared. And b to the 1 times 2, which is b squared. Now you can totally, when you have something like this, go back and rewrite it twice like we did for the first example here. That's totally okay. If you don't, that's totally okay too. Just watch everything. We do have to take care of this 6 squared. 6 squared is 36, and so I have 36a squared b squared. That's my first piece. That's this right here. That's multiplied by the 3a squared b to the 6th. And now this becomes the product rule. So I do have to multiply 36 times 3. Don't be afraid to write it out to the side. Okay, and I get 108. So I have 108. Here we add our exponents. 2 plus 2 for a is 4. And 2 plus 6 is 8 for my b's, and I am done. The next one is addition subtraction with a little bit of power and product rule. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do these directly and keep writing the whole problem out as I go along. So here, the 5 has an exponent of 1, so does this a. These are both power rule, and we're going to work them out separately but together. All right, so I have 5 to the 1 times 2, which is 5 squared, and b to the 2 times 2, which is b to the 4, minus a to the 1 times 2, or a squared, plus 3a squared, there's nothing going on here, minus 6a. Right, now I can do 5 squared, and I should do it before I go further, which is 25. B to the 4th, minus a squared, plus 3a squared minus 6a. Now my goal, once I get it to this point, is I'm looking for like terms that I can add or subtract. Remember, we're looking for the same variable and same exponent. And we have that idea right here. Nothing else matches, but these two do. So my 25b to the fourth is just going to be written out. My minus 6a is just going to be written out. Nothing changes with those two. Now remember, I have a 1 in front of my a squared, so I have a minus 1 plus 3. Okay, opposite sign, so we subtract. Keep the sign of the larger number, and I have a plus 2a squared. Okay, so not everything combined, but two of them did, and you need to look out for that. Just make sure that you're following the rules one step at a time, doing your exponents or your power rule first, and working your way from there. Last two, go ahead and give them a try. Come back when you are done, and I'll work them both out at the same time. All right, so the top one has the power rule, so that's the first thing I have to do, which is this. I'm choosing now to go ahead and write it out twice and work it out. So I have 2ab times 2ab, which is exactly what that exponent tells me to do, is multiply the parentheses by themselves twice. And 2 times 2 is 4. The a's each have a 1, so I have 2 a's and 2 b's. And I'm going to go ahead and the subtraction still has to stay and have 5ab squared. All right. Now what I want to see is are these like terms? They have the same variables, but the a does not have the same exponent. The first one has an exponent of 1. This one has an exponent of 2. At this point, you're done. You can't do anything else. So all we needed to do was invoke the power rule, rewrite it, and we have our answer already ready to go. This one here is a little bit tricky. And this one in particular, because I have a negative on the inside of the parentheses, I like to go ahead and write it out. I don't know what happened here. 3 times. And I'm going to ignore this negative for right now. Remember, order of operations says I have to do exponents first. Exponents is greater than multiplication or division, according to our order of operations, right? I have to do exponent first. So I'm going to ignore the front negative or minus sign in front of the parentheses because I have to do the exponent here first. So I'm going to go ahead and write it out. I have negative 2a squared b to the third c. And for the most part, I'm not giving you anything bigger than a 3 for an exponent. So it shouldn't be too big of a deal to go ahead and write these out. I just need more space, sorry. All right. And if I wanted to further, I can go ahead and group everything together. So I can group my 2's together. I can group my a's together. I can group my b's together. And I can group my c's together. Remember, all these c's have an exponent of 1. And this just helps me if there's a lot going on to make sure that I'm keeping everything together. All right? Now, a negative times a negative gives me a positive. And a positive times a negative gives me a negative. So this will be a negative. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So I got a negative 8. This is now the product rule. So I need to add my exponents. So A has a total of 6. B has a total of 3 plus 3 plus 3, which is 9. And C has 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 3. But remember, when we first started this problem, we ignored the negative in the front here. So what this is going to do, it's going to change my sign to positive, and that's it. So this is going to be a positive 8, a to the 6th, b to the 9th, c to the 3rd. Now everything is multiplication, so you only need to go ahead and just change this sign here. All right, so go ahead and work on the practice problems. Make sure to ask me any questions. Start getting ready for the quiz we're getting ready to have, and I'll see you in the next video.